and thought she seemed nice, and little did I know.
Congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What will you, though, remember as being most special about pulling off double duty for this project?
What comes to mind isn't so much about the work that went into it, but about the why behind it.
Blake Lively, America's golden girl with her flawless looks and charm, right? Wrong. Behind the cameras and red carpet glam, there's a very different Blake that Hollywood doesn't want you to see.
Want to really talk to you, what's the best way for them to be able to talk to you about this? How would you recommend they go about it?
Like asking for like my address or my phone number or like my location share. Or I could just location share you and then we could...
From onset bullying claims to calling out Justin Baldoni for misconduct, only for some shocking truth bombs to emerge later, Blake's reputation is starting to crack.
I think I'm just brunette because of the books.
And everyone knows blondes are nicer anyway.
Is Blake really the sweetheart we all thought she was? Or is there a darker side to her fame? Did she fabricate her accusations against Baldoni to protect her own image? Let's dig in. It all started when back in December, Lively filed a complaint with California's Civil Rights Department saying she'd been SH and dealt with other unwanted behavior on the set of It Ends With Us. The allegations were aimed at both Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer CEO Jamie Heath, who also happened to be the film's executive producer. Things escalated when Lively followed up with a lawsuit claiming that even though there were written agreements to stop the behavior and avoid retaliation, Baldoni and the studio went behind her back. According to her, they hired a crisis PR firm to run a full-on smear campaign, spreading stuff on social media and in the press to completely trash her reputation.
Actor-director Justin Baldoni is now suing his former co-star Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds, seeking more than $400 million in damages, accusing them of defamation.
The lawsuit doesn't just call out Baldoni and Heath. It also names Wayfarer CEO Jamie Heath, It Ends With Us movie LLC, and publicists Melissa Nathan and Jennifer Abel as defendants. Baldoni, along with his and Heath's publicists and a contractor, have denied any harassment or wrongdoing and instead paint the conflict as a creative struggle for control of the film between its two lead actors. That denial comes in a lawsuit they filed against the New York Times, which reported on Lively's allegations in December. In a statement to NPR, the New York Times stood by their story, calling it meticulously and responsibly reported.
Same day, Justin Baldoni sued the New York Times for libel for $250 million, saying that Blake Lively had conspired with the New York Times to make him look like this bad individual.
It was based on a review of thousands of pages of original documents, including the text messages and emails that we quote accurately and at length in the article, reads the statement. The New York Times confirmed to NPR that they plan to vigorously defend against the lawsuit, but things took a wild turn when Baldoni, along with publicist Leslie Sloan, hit back and sued Lively for a whopping $400 million in damages. The lawsuit filed Thursday by Baldoni, Wayfarer, and their publicists reiterates the argument that the conflict with Lively emerged from a creative struggle, describing how what allegedly began as a positive working relationship between Lively and Baldoni took a turn throughout the production process of It Ends With Us. The complaint alleges that little by little, Lively leveraged her star power to push for creative input beyond what is usually granted to an actor, including by taking over wardrobe decisions, rewriting scenes, creating her own cut of the film, and eventually demanding that Baldoni be excluded from promotional materials and events.
It was actually Blake Lively, her husband, her PR team, coming at me because we had creative differences over the film.
In their lawsuit, they firmly denied any claims of SH or inappropriate behavior by Baldoni, Wayfarer CEO Jamie Heath, or anyone else on set. Instead, they flipped the script, accusing Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, of orchestrating a series of extortionate threats aimed at destroying Baldoni's reputation. It's turned into a full-blown legal battle, with both sides pointing fingers and no signs of backing down. This lawsuit is a legal action based on an overwhelming amount of untampered evidence detailing Blake Lively and her team's duplicitous attempt to destroy Justin Baldoni, his team, and their respective companies by disseminating grossly edited, unsubstantiated, new, and doctored information to the media. Wayfarer's attorney, Brian Friedman, said in a statement shared with NPR, It is clear based on our own all-out willingness to provide all complete text messages, emails, video footage, and other documentary evidence that was shared between the parties in real time that this is a battle she will not win and will certainly regret. In addition to Lively and Reynolds, the complaint names Lively's publicist, Leslie Sloan, and the public relations firm Vision PR, which represents both Reynolds and Lively as co-defendants. When NPR requested comment on the allegations presented in Wayfarer's lawsuit, Vision PR shared a statement on behalf of Lively's legal team that reiterated her initial allegations and added that Lively was not alone. The evidence will show that the cast and others had their own negative experiences with Mr. Baldoni and Wayfarer, they wrote. In lawsuit, Baldoni and his co-plaintiffs argue that the production team never received or agreed to any list. Instead, they allege they signed on to a 17-point list of demands that, according to the suit, was not open for negotiation, even though the studio disagreed with the implication that inappropriate behavior had occurred on set and attempted to make edits. They argue in the lawsuit, for example, that an intimacy coordinator was already required on set. Wayfarer would have to sign the document as is despite the falsity of its insinuations, reads the lawsuit. The alternative was to lose millions of dollars, cost hundreds of people their jobs after they had been out of work for months, and destroy their relationship with Sony. The lawsuit claims that the list of demands marked the beginning of a carefully constructed paper trail to destroy Wayfarer, Heath, Baldoni, and the film. The lawsuit argues that Jones was in an embattled working relationship with Wayfarer and Baldoni by the time It Ends With Us was released, and that due to a personal and professional conflict with her then-employee Jennifer Abel, she turned over private communications between Abel, Melissa Nathan, and Wayfarer to Lively's team as revenge. Jones has filed her own lawsuit in a New York state court against Abel, Nathan, Baldoni, Wayfarer, and several unnamed individuals.
There's also correspondence between Blake Lively's PR team and outlets. And, it's a lot for fans to digest and go through right now.
But get this, Baldoni isn't the only one claiming to be a victim of Blake. Apparently, there's a whole list. Rumors are swirling that several others have come forward, accusing her of pulling similar stunts, from alleged manipulation to behind-the-scenes drama designed to ruin careers. When it comes to on-set drama, things got a little tense between Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick while filming their movie together. Despite playing complicated besties on screen, rumor has it there was some real-life friction between the two actresses. Even Henry Golding, who starred alongside them, admitted he was super nervous to work with both Blake and Anna. He'd grown up admiring their work on screen, but with the alleged tension simmering behind the scenes, it must have made things extra awkward for him. He said, "It was quite a small set, really." The main cast was 4 or 5 people, so the proximity, really in this filmmaking, was so much closer, he said. It's easy to kind of get very nervous about it. And there were certain days where I was like, what am I doing? Why am I here? Eventually, Henry Golding managed to get along with both Blake and Anna, but he admitted that he questioned his confidence a lot during filming. Turns out he was a bit intimidated by the two powerhouse actresses. While Henry's nervousness could be chalked up to his admiration for Blake, there have been whispers that his discomfort had more to do with the alleged tension between Blake and Anna.
Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively had a feud while filming A Simple Favor?
I think they got on pretty reasonably well, I think.
When asked about the rumored rift in an interview, Henry tried to play it cool, claiming that the two actresses got along just fine. But here's the thing. He seemed pretty nervous while saying it, like he wasn't entirely convinced himself. Now, let's dive into that supposed feud. Word on the street is that things between Anna and Blake got heated on the set of A Simple Favor. The wild part? Despite the behind-the-scenes drama, they both returned to film the movie's sequel, which wrapped up in April 2024. The rumors about the feud really picked up steam back in September 2017 while they were filming. The clash supposedly kicked off when Anna Kendrick made some offhand comments about Taylor Swift, comments that didn't sit well with Blake, who's one of Taylor's closest friends. You can imagine how that might have sparked some tension on set.
Like a few times through Ryan on that film.
Got it.
And thought she seemed nice, and little did I know.
Yeah. How quickly do you...
Don't touch me.
Anna has also been reported to be rude to people and staff in the service industry, which makes it possible that she may have insulted Taylor in Blake's presence.
Muffin, it's so hard being you.
No, know, but like I really would really like to be a Disney princess.
I'm sure that dream will come true.
I'm sure there's
because a dream is a wish.
According to a podcaster who claimed they were informed by someone who worked on the set, Blake and Anna also clashed over displaying cleavages on the poster. Anna, in particular, was competitive with Blake and was constantly asking to make sure she got more promotion than Blake, and even made us Photoshop her cleavage in the Simple Favor poster to be as big or bigger than Blake's. Then, in an interview, they had a moment that shows all might not be well with the co-stars in their body language.
Like smooth as pie. It should be smooth as silk or whatever.
Easy as pie.
Yeah,
Right.
and smooth as silk. But my mom, I think, is a very confident person, and so for me, yeah, I sort of like struggle.
Although the two actresses follow each other on Instagram, Anna is glad the social media has functions where she can mute people, as she hinted she already muted Blake. Despite the fact that Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively follow each other on Instagram, it seems that there's still some lingering tension. Anna's even hinted that she's made use of Instagram's mute feature, suggesting that she's already muted Blake. It's like a subtle nod that while they might be keeping things civil online, there's still some unresolved drama behind the scenes.
I've muted some people. Now that it's a function on Twitter and Instagram, there's a couple people that I have muted. Yeah.
Details about the Simple Favor set drama kept spilling out, with a screenshot from a crew member confirming that Anna and Blake were not on good terms by the end of filming. They were reportedly acting like enemies, and it got so bad that the studio had to step in, urging them to pretend to be friends during their promotional tour. Despite the studio's efforts, things didn't seem to improve. They were caught exchanging what many took as serious jabs during interviews, even though Anna might have been trying to keep it lighthearted. The tension was palpable during their BuzzFeed interview, and it sure didn't look like they were just joking around. In that interview, they spoke about a call time change that left Anna waiting an hour for Blake to arrive. And Anna said, "That was the day I decided I hated you. We were all talking trash about you." During the press tour, Anna Kendrick even repeated some of her snarky comments to Blake's face, although it's possible all that drama has been put to bed now that they're working together again on the Simple Favor sequel. But the drama doesn't stop there. Blake also had her share of tension with her Gossip Girl co-star, Leighton Meester. While they weren't outright enemies, they certainly weren't the besties fans might have hoped for. Their on-set clashes were notorious, from disagreements over costumes to who got more screen time.
Chuck has a matching pet monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. And then I got a few of them.
The rift reportedly began when both actresses were vying for the spotlight in the show's final seasons. Things got even more heated when Blake was upset about Leighton getting a bigger wardrobe budget. Blake felt she had achieved more success outside of Gossip Girl and was frustrated that these important details were handled without her input. The show's executive producer, Joshua Safran, later spoke on their relationship in 2017, saying, "Blake and Leighton were not friends. They were friendly, but not friends like Serena and Blair." Joshua added that they both have different personalities and no major conflict was involved. However, rumors revealed they started avoiding each other at a time on set, and their castmates had to take sides. Now, we all know being besties with your ex's new partner isn't exactly common, and rumor has it that Scarlett Johansson isn't exactly Blake's biggest fan. Even though they both work in the same industry, sources say their beef runs much deeper. It all ties back to the alleged cheating scandal. An insider even spilled that there's still major tension between Blake and Scarlett to the point where they go out of their way to avoid each other, never showing up in the same place at the same time. It's also been heavily speculated that Scarlett blames Blake for the breakdown of her marriage to Ryan. No wonder there's bad blood between these two. Henry Golding may not have had any direct issues with Blake Lively while working together on the set of A Simple Favor, but he was under a lot of pressure, which he admitted to.
Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively had a feud while filming A Simple Favor.
I think they got on pretty reasonably well, I think.
Although Kate Middleton never threw shade at Blake Lively, Blake didn't hold back when it came to making fun of Kate. During this time, Blake posted a photoshopped image of herself lounging by a pool to promote her cocktail company. She later issued an apology after Kate revealed she was battling cancer. Meanwhile, Blake's relationship with Penn Badgley, which blossomed on the set of Gossip Girl, had its own set of highs and lows. They shared some sweet moments, like Blake getting Penn his first iPhone and helping him stay sober since she doesn't drink. But despite these loving gestures, their relationship eventually ended.
You can expect lots of big gasps and OMFG moments.
Penn was left heartbroken, and working alongside his ex-girlfriend took a toll on him. After filming Wrapped, he admitted he was in a dark place, even saying half of his belongings were packed in a trash bag. His wife, Domino Kirka, revealed that when she met him, he was still a bit lost and searching for himself. Penn described his time working with Blake on Gossip Girl as an endurance test, with the 6 years they spent together as exes being particularly challenging. Leonardo DiCaprio's history with Blake Lively was quite the ride before things went south. Leo, known for his pattern of dating ladies under 25 and often Victoria's Secret models, broke his usual mold with Blake, who was 24 at the time. Although their romance lasted less than 5 months, they had a blast together, frequently spotted on dates and vacations. Their relationship had a quirky side, too. Blake would send Leo pictures of a doll to communicate her feelings. While these doll pics never hit the media, the oddity of this method of communication did raise eyebrows. Some found it a bit creepy, though it was clearly Blake's unique way of expressing herself. The drama began when Leo started wanting to get serious and even proposed settling down with Blake. But Blake wasn't quite ready for that level of commitment, and just like that, their whirlwind romance came to an end. An insider told us weekly details behind the breakup, saying, Blake wasn't ready to move to the next level. It was just too much, too quickly. Blake wasn't ready to settle down. The breakup with Blake hit Leonardo DiCaprio hard, affecting his work on The Great Gatsby. The heartbreak was so intense that he reportedly locked himself in his trailer and refused to come out, which frustrated both Leonardo and the film's director, Baz Luhrmann. This tension clearly took a toll on their working relationship. Fast forward to 2016, Blake and Leonardo crossed paths again at the AmFAR Gala in New York, and things got a bit awkward. Despite being married to Ryan Reynolds at the time, Blake and Leo couldn't help but indulge in some playful teasing. Witnesses at the gala noted that Leo would wink and smile every time Blake came near, and despite her best efforts to ignore his attention, they both seemed unable to conceal their flirtatious behavior. Ryan, who was in attendance, was reportedly furious about the whole situation. Sources say he even warned Blake to stop looking at Leo, but she found it hard to resist. It was clear that Ryan was jealous, but he kept his feelings under wraps, not wanting to let Leo know how he truly felt. It seems the past wasn't so easily left behind. Since that awkward AmFAR Gala encounter, there's been little to no interaction between Leo and Blake. They've gone their separate ways, with Blake happily married and Leo not too thrilled about her focus on maintaining a particular public image. Now, Zendaya might seem like an unexpected name on this list, but there was a moment at the Michael Kors fashion show that raised eyebrows. Body language experts speculated that Zendaya was throwing shade at both Blake Lively and Emily Blunt. The subtle gestures and expressions led to a lot of speculation, and Emily Blunt reportedly reacted to the alleged shade.
I was worried that she was flashing her, so it might have been something to do with that. Zendaya doesn't look very happy, though, with our jokes.
Zendaya replied to the speculations with a tweet saying, "I was looking at DTE runway." Speaking of subtle shade, Blake's It Ends With Us co-star Brandon Sklenar stirred up some drama when he made a cryptic comment about falling in love with her on set. When asked what made it easy for him to develop feelings, he played coy, saying he couldn't talk about it.
I could tell you it's...
You could say like really nice things.
I'm just a really good actor, you know? I'm a really good actor. Everything was really challenging with Blake.
Blake added a funny twist to the situation by revealing that Brandon preferred rehearsing with a mirror over her, making for an amusing tidbit in their ongoing interactions. The last celebrity on this list is Justin Baldoni. While he hasn't directly dissed Blake, the drama surrounding It Ends With Us and his hiring of a PR crisis manager speaks volumes. To top it off, his decision not to direct the sequel, It Starts With Us, sent a subtle message that left many wondering about the underlying tension. It seems there's more to the story than meets the eye.
I think there are better people for that one. I think Blake Lively's ready to direct. That's what I think.
Apparently, Justin was putting in a lot of effort to remain professional amid the rumored feud over directing and managing their latest production. Despite the drama and the subtle hints of tension, he's been working hard to keep things on track and avoid any further public clashes. It's clear that behind the scenes, there's a lot more going on than what's visible to the public eye. But her weird behavior with people has a long history. For as unpopular as Blake Lively has been among her co-stars in the past, her latest projects haven't been free from controversy either. In 2024, she starred in It Ends With Us, a film about a woman who overcomes a childhood of domestic domestic to live her own life and find love, all while trying to avoid the pitfalls of her trauma in the process. While the film was released to middling reviews, the reaction to the film was nothing compared to the controversy surrounding Blake. Throughout the film's promotional run, details of the alleged feud between Blake and director Justin Baldoni came to light. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Blake had commissioned a second cut of the film to be done by Deadpool and Wolverine editor Shane Reed, suggesting stark creative differences between Blake and Justin. On that same note, their individual approaches to promoting the film have also come under scrutiny. Moviegoers have praised Justin Baldoni for putting focus on the film's serious subject matter, even linking to a non-profit anti-domestic charity in his Instagram bio and working closely with them while working on the film. On the other hand, Blake Lively has come under fire for using her platform on the film to promote her fashion lines and posting lighthearted content that contrasts the grim nature of the film. In one interview, when asked by journalist Jake Hamilton if people who could relate to her character's experience would talk to her about it if they saw her in person, Lively responded sarcastically. Instead of encouraging victims of domestic violence to seek help from professionals or sharing what resources and tools they can turn to, she laughed. "Yeah, go ahead. Ask me for my address or my phone number. Or I could just share my location with you and then we could, he said, finishing his remarks with a loud laugh. Based on her responses in that and other interviews, people on social media began to point out that she was trying to pass off this movie as a funny romantic comedy. Many also did not consider it appropriate that she promoted her cocktail brand and her hair care line while her interlocutors were trying to get her to say something about the central theme of the film, domestic violence. This attitude led to the resurfacing of several of Lively's past interviews, in which many criticized her for being rude and dismissive to journalists. First, reporter Kirsty Flaw uploaded to YouTube the interview she conducted with the actress and her Cafe Society co-star Parker Posey, discussing Woody Allen's 2016 film, The Blake Lively Interview, that made me want to quit my job, he titled the clip. Even fans have noticed her behavior. One of them wrote, "She's the kind of girl who says something mean and then says, 'just kidding,' when she actually meant what she said." Another one added, "For someone who likes to make jokes on other people's expense, Blake seems to get offended easily when she gets a taste of her own medicine." That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.